I'm Anthony Nguyen. Join us as we change the narrative around aged care, one story at a time. Welcome back to the Pioneers in Aged Care podcast. Here we have Cassandra Tobin, General Manager of Care Partnering in WA at Silverchain. Welcome, Cassandra. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Before we get into the episode, I want to say thank you to the sponsor. The sponsor for this episode is Aurelia Legal, which is an immigration law firm focusing on the aged care sector, specializing in navigating 482 and 186 visa sponsorships. So thank you so much, Aurelia Legal. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to have this conversation. So let's start with understanding Silverchain. Who is Silverchain? What do they do? Where are you based? Locations you have a presence in? Let's go from there.
Okay, so Silverchain has quite a massive footprint in WA. It's where we started. However, also in South Australia and East Coast. Silverchain is around health and aged care in the community. So it's all about people being in their home, keeping them independent. We want to avoid people readmitting to hospital, doing what we can to, just keep them safe in their home. From a WA perspective, we cover from Albany, Denmark, the Great Southern region, right through up to Broome. And we've got varying services all across the state. So we have, again, mix of health and aged care services. We do everything from nursing, allied health, we do personal care, we have social centres out in the community as well. We do respite, domestic assistance, a whole array of services. In terms of, Silverchain's care delivery, because we've got such an extensive array of services, we also deliver an extensive array of funding programs. So aged care, which is Commonwealth funded, we are one of the biggest holders of home care packages in WA. We also do Commonwealth home support funding, so have quite extensive amount of services and clients in that space, and a lot of state funded programs. So we also deliver into hospital discharge services, transitional care, we have HIF services, palliative care, quite an extensive list. I probably haven't nowhere near named all of them, but I suppose what makes us unique to a degree is the fact that we can move people through the journey. Yeah. So right from the start of entry into different programs, you might be not yet an aged care client under 65, we can move you right through to support at home, complex funding, PAL care services, right through to the end.
No residential aged care homes. This is all fully home care and community.
Yeah, full home care community. On the health side of Silverchain in WA, we do have clinics throughout the state as well, so people can come in and get their nursing in clinic. However, predominantly it's all in the community and in people's homes.
I think I read somewhere that Silverchain was the largest provider of home care services in WA at least.
We are, so definitely WA is the biggest footprint, but we have a lot of coverage in South Australia and East Coast more recently as well. We are working on expanding services in that area, but from a WA perspective, definitely one of the largest footprints in terms of age and healthcare. No residential, so it is all home-based predominantly.
Hey, supported home is the new thing, well, not new, but going to be one of the biggest sectors coming into the near future.
Definitely.
And my parents have, I think some of the Silverchain people assist my parents. They've just signed up to their packages and services. Tell me about your role. What does that role entail?
In WA, we've got two business units. We have health, which is historically all of our nursing services, and we have our aged community care side of the business. So on that part of the business, it is quite a large structure. We have a lot of employees, a lot of teams, a lot of providers out and about. Under my role with the care partnering function, I have our multidisciplinary care team. So that is all of our clinicians. We've got physios, OTs, podiatrists, nurses, dementia wellbeing specialists. We're bringing in social workers, always looking for more and more clinicians. We also have essentially all of our support at home functions. So really coming up until October 31st, everything home care packages. So we have an acquisitions team, people who work to support people on that aged care journey, whether it be their intro to aged care services or moving from lower level funding up through to support at home funding. We have administration teams as well, so people who are so critical at making sure we're all on track. But predominantly what my space is support at home. So that is probably my day in, day out at the moment. That is what I am living and breathing and preparing us for that space. We also have support leads. So we have a dedicated support at home lead at the moment within my team. Someone who, again, just day to day is living and breathing what's going on, what are the updates, what are our people telling us, what are our clients telling us, and putting that all together to determine how we go through to November 1st and beyond.
Yeah, and the whole point of this podcast was really to shine a light on why people should get involved in aged care, why they should consider a career in aged care. For those listening out there, if they're listening to this and they go, you know what, yes, aged care sounds great, now who should I work for? Why should they work for Silverchain?
I might start that in two parts. I think coming into aged care, no matter if you are thinking of going into that sector, I think there are misconceptions about working into aged care. And I'll be honest, I had never planned to work in aged care. I'm a registered nurse by background. I worked over 12 years in a hospital setting. Never occurred to me to come into aged care. I thought it'd be boring. I'll be quite blunt. I was like, I don't think there would be a variety of work. And I can completely throw that out the window. It's probably the biggest misconception. You will never see the variety, I think, that you would see in aged care. You come across people from all walks of life, people who start out needing the most basic of care right through to the most complex level of care. And I think people don't realise how complex that level of care can be that you deliver in a home. So you're not going to see the same things every day. People's needs change all the time. You will work with the biggest variety and diverse amount of people. I often think there's so many people that work, particularly at Silverchain. Aged care is not their first step into the sector. So people have had lifetimes before it. People have been, have come through finance. They've worked in the mining industry. And then they come to aged care. Or you've got people who've just worked in this sector for 30, 40 years. I think coming to Silverchain, the best thing is there is a lot of opportunity. There is such a variety of roles, you don't have to stay in the same role. You can move through different teams, different services. You can learn. There's a lot of opportunity for learning, upskilling, career progression. Most recently on Wednesday, we had some service recognition awards, which we do every quarter. And it's interesting when you hear a lot of the stories that come through, people who've been here for 5 years through to 25 and 30 years. A lot of those people have moved through a variety of roles. So perhaps have started as domestic assistant or care aide, have then moved into team leader roles or digressed completely into a bit of an ops support function. And I think that's a great opportunity that you can be as hands-on as you like with clients, you can be working hard behind the scenes. And without that combination of roles, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. So I think there is a lot of opportunity in the sector. I think Silverchain gives you a lot of that opportunity, and you can work anywhere across WA. So also more recently, we have someone who's moving from metro into country, and we've facilitated that. So we've helped support to say, listen, if you're keen, we will keep you on board. We can actually have you working from where you plan to move to. So we've just moved that role, and it works for everyone.
I love that. And you've obviously been in Silverchain, I think it was 7, 8 years?
Coming up 7 years.
7 years, yeah. A lot of career progression. I think one of the things that people don't realise is the opportunities available for career progression, fast-tracked career progression as well. I think in other sectors, it does take a while to move up the chain. People do stay in their roles a lot longer, but I think with the aged care sector growing so fast, there's opportunities everywhere. You just have to put in the hard work and get recognised.
Definitely. And I think if you then have that ability as well, you can, you can love what you do and stay in that position as long as you like. But with the sector evolving, so many different opportunities, introduction of AI, introduction of different systems, you then have the option to just move around and find, even if it's a secondment, it might not be a permanent fix.
Yeah.
It might be something where you're like, I've stepped into that space for 12 months, learnt a lot, supported that piece of work or project, and now I can step back into, my day-to-day and what I also love to do. So even at Silverchain, I came in working with their quality and compliance team at the time. That was the shift for me. And then pretty early on, next minute, it was around taking on an additional opportunity. What can I learn about? And that's how I kind of moved more into the aged community care side of the business.
Yeah. Everyone's looking forward to 1st November, get that done and dusted. Looking past that, looking at the next 12 months, what are you excited for? What are you hoping to achieve at Silverchain?
I would say that November 1st won't be done and dusted. It's a very interesting time, and speaking to a lot of people, particularly who've been around for some of even the changes years and years prior, a lot of them are saying this again is one of those biggest changes that they've experienced, and it's quite a shift. There's not much that's staying the same, to be honest. I think beyond November, I kind of feel like December will give us not a quiet time. There's never a quiet time in aged care or healthcare or certain other industries. But I think it'll be nice to see just what we learn through this. We are working so rapidly and taking so much information in all the time to make decisions. We almost kind of just want to get to this December, January, and then forward to understand what are we learning, what are we changing, what can we keep doing for the better, because nothing else stops.
Yeah.
So business as usual, needs to keep going. The changes for support at home need to keep happening. And it's not we're very conscious, and we are telling our teams at the moment, it isn't about, I suppose, considering it done. It's what can we build on, what can we change for the better, where can we find the efficiencies, what are our clients and providers telling us, and how we can keep moving that forward. Before we know it, the plan is for CHISP as well, Commonwealth Home Support, to come under support at home from 2027. So I think before we know it, that'll all be ramped up. What's the next phase?
Yeah. I want to jump into the question from the sponsor. The sponsor is Aurelia Legal, which is an immigration law firm focusing on the aged care sector, specializing in navigating 482 and 186 visa sponsorships. And the question is from Nilesh Bansal, the principal and founder of Aurelia Legal. And his question is...
Hello, my name is Nilesh Bansal, founder and principal of Aurelia Legal. We specialize in helping aged care providers plan workforce strategies and assist them with visa applications for their staff. My question is, looking ahead, what do you see are the biggest hurdles in maintaining adequate staffing levels? And are there any particular roles or skills that are proving especially difficult to fill in Australia? If so, how do you intend to address these challenges? Thank you.
Yes, so it is, I think, recruitment and the ability to actually staff the workforce is something that we are dealing with every day. There is such an array of different positions. I think across the board, every position is difficult to fill for a variety of different reasons. We're constantly trying to understand what are the compliance requirements. So what is it that we have to have? What is it the skill set we need to have? And how can you get those people working to the fullest scope that they can? We want people to come in and have job satisfaction. We want them to be using all of their skills. Where can we flex that? Where can we work to delegate more and give them more scope of practice if that's, an option to do. I think with bringing in, we see there is no doubt that with our DAs, our care aides, our clinicians, it is just constantly growth. You sometimes feel that you've constantly got ads out and you wonder what the perception is behind the scenes. Is it that they're advertising to replace? Well, in fact, we're advertising purely for growth all the time. We need more and more people. And we want them from all different walks of life. You want to have people from different cultures, different countries, different languages. Clients love that. You know, they want to see that diversity as well. So I think in terms of skill set, there's so many different roles. People can all have all different skills. People can move around, as we said. There's a lot of, you want to be able to give people the opportunities to try new things if that's what they want to do. I think the fact is at the moment, there is just not enough people in general. There is there's so much that's needed out there, not just in aged care. There's so many jobs, there's so many services that need to be delivered. How do you physically find the people to do that?
Yeah.
And I think it's not necessarily something we can solve, but it's about understanding why would you want to come and work in community aged care? What might make you want to come from one provider to another, or from one industry to another? Why would you pick aged care as a career or something to step into? And I think it's trying to sell that it is a variety. You're not just coming in to do the mundane. You will meet so many different people. You'll experience so many different things, meet new people even within your team. At the moment, I think something which is also worth considering is that flex. Clinicians, they're registered. They've got really clear scopes of practice. You've probably got a little bit more flex with other roles to say, well, and again, taking a risk-based approach. What is it that you can do? Where do you have certifications for? What more can we upskill you in? What more do you want to learn? What do you think is something that you can support in? And it's not so rigid. Clinicians, they've got boundaries, their scopes of practice. But for some, we're like, what is it that you'd love to do? Or what more would you like to get your hands on, and can we make that work? Again, from a job satisfaction perspective as well.
Yeah.
You want to do something that you're finding meaningful, that you step away at the end of the day and feel like you've made a difference. So I think it's learning a lot from feedback as well from our providers, people who are coming in, even people who are leaving for whatever reason. What can we do better? Or what was it that you felt was missing or needs to be improved, so that we can work on that and retain and bring more people in.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your answer, and thanks for your question, Nilesh. Cassandra, I want to ask you, and I don't think I prepped you for this, but is there a question that you'd like to ask the audience, given an opportunity to comment on the comment section below? The question can be anything that you've challenged your team with. What could you challenge the audience with in their thinking, or anything that comes to mind that you'd be interested in to hear their thoughts on?
I suppose from my perspective, and I tend to say this a lot, is can we do things differently, or is there something? I'm not normally afraid of hearing something that's completely outside of the box. I think it's very easy in the day-to-day and business as usual to get stuck in how we have been doing things, or kind of think, well, we can only do that portion. I always like to hear, particularly if it's other industries as well, I think there's a lot of opportunity to learn or share ideas that then we're like, oh, we could apply that. Maybe not in exactly the same way. So I would encourage people to say, bring forward ideas or things that you think could be considered, either in evolving our business, our services, the way we do things, efficiencies. Sometimes we are limited by way of compliance and standards and legislation, but if we can think outside the box, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Are there different things you'd like us to take on board? All for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's quick wins. Sometimes there's things which I tend to put on the to-do list. They sit there and we kind of let them brew or be the starter for another conversation, troubleshoot more ideas. But I would encourage people to say, or ask the question, what would make you interested in the aged care sector, or what would make you interested in taking a role or being given the opportunity of?
Yeah.
We'd love to hear it.
Well, there you go, guys. Outside the box ideas, comment below. Let's hear them. This is another question that I didn't prepare you for, so I'm just springing them on you, but it's a question that I've started asking recently. What's shaped your career in terms of any mistakes that you've made in the past, or any learnings from those missteps? Anything that has happened in your early stages that has shaped who you are now, Does anything come to mind?
I think your leadership, it sounds a bit corny sometimes, but I do think your leadership can shape the opportunities you take or how you learn. I've probably been very lucky in my experience. I've had some really strong leaders and very different type leaders, which have all left me with something to take away and taught me different things. I've been lucky that I've had quite a few leaders who have led me to work autonomously. And I think that's what I've taken now. I really trust my team to do their thing. So I'm here, always here to help. You can ask any questions. I will come back with whatever clarification I can, and I'll be hands-on. I will help, I'll support. But I think it's really important. They've taught me that you'll be trusted to do your job. Go off, flourish, throw ideas into the ring, and then we can always come back. I think very early on, something I did learn is that almost fear of taking on feedback. And that was something I learned very early on, that the more feedback, the better. You want people to be able to provide that, give their ideas, their thinking, and don't underestimate. And something I do say a lot again to my team is, I need to know what people on the ground think of this. It's all very well and good. We can put anything into effect. If we don't know how that translates on the ground, this could potentially fail.
Yeah.
So I do think a lot of them have taught me how important all feedback from different sides is really important to then shape a positive outcome. You still might need to tweak, change, you still might fail, but I always think if you are doing this on the ground day in, day out, what do we need to know to take that into whatever we're developing or whatever process we're changing? Because I can create anything, and the teams can come up with whatever direction they like. But if you can't do it on the ground, or it's just not feasible, then why are we wasting the time?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the leaders that I've had have really enforced that, and I've taken that away. But also, just being able to work independently and being trusted to get on with my job, which then translates into, you'll see the outcomes. I can show you, that I'm meeting KPIs or deadlines, that type of thing.
Yeah. Now, outside of aged care, outside of work, you look after a lot of people. You're in charge of, you are critical in a lot of people's careers and their livelihoods, and you've got to sort of empty your own cup so you can fill theirs. How do you fill your cup back up, and what do you do outside of work to put a smile on your own face?
So outside of work, pets is a big thing. So definitely go home and love to really switch off. So I do make sure that I draw a line at the end of the day, and when I switch off and I've wrapped up from work, I finish. That's really important for me. Pets are a big thing, socialising. So I do love friends and family, love going out, breakfast, dinners, coffees.
You're very social.
Really enjoy that. And then whenever things pop up, I suppose, I feel a bit sad saying this, probably don't have the energy for the partying as such anymore, but really enjoy, concerts, music gigs, things like that. Yeah. So.
What pets do you have?
Well, I did have 3, left with 1 at the moment. So a big ginger cat called Heineken.
Okay.
Who he's also aging. Yes. He's a delight. I think pets are wonderful. I actually heard a brilliant story yesterday about someone, an 80-year-old. We had an 80-year-old client who went and got a tattoo of her beloved pet.
All right.
And I think, again, I think they're brilliant. They just listen.
She got it at 80 years old?
80 years old.
Wow, okay.
Yes, very impressed.
Yeah.
Never too old. And again, just how important her pet was to her. I think they're just great. They don't answer back. They listen. Yeah. They don't have any, they're just there to kind of be. And I think you can't underestimate that for a bit of quiet time.
Cassandra, before we finish the podcast, is there anything in this episode that you didn't get to cover? Any message you want to get across?
I don't think so. I would probably just say, as I said, I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there, but I would encourage people to check out the aged care sector. It's very exciting. It is very rewarding. You do hear amazing stories every day. from all different walks of life. So I would definitely encourage people just to reach out and explore, and not also in the typical sense. You don't need to be a clinician, you don't need to be a care worker. There's so many opportunities out there, and you get to work with, a great bunch of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Cassandra, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time. Cheers, guys.